The art of baking has been around for hundreds of years, and over the last decade, it's become a hugely fashionable hobby. Cakes are a feature at almost any celebration and life event, from weddings and anniversaries to birthdays and Christmas. Cake baking started from bread-like cakes that were sweetened with honey. Nuts and dried fruits were used to decorate these cakes. These days, refined flours, sugar and baking powder are used to make the process faster, and modern cake decorating has become a fascinating craft that can turn any cake into a work of art.
My passion starts about 6 years ago. I was in the wedding industry, more into clothing, and it was very exhausting for me, And then I was looking at all these beautiful things that's going with a wedding, and the cake normally is second in line. First the bride and then the cake. The men normally, because I was doing suits, is always last. So I was thinking, not only as business, but as a craft, as a hobby, to do the cake side. And it was a very difficult step for me from that one place in my life to cakes, but I've enjoyed it. And it turns out to be my business. In the business that we work is people will normally approach you with a picture or an idea, and you just need to make exactly what they want. I get my inspiration from pictures, magazines, internet, and then combination of different pictures and different mediums and different techniques that you apply to create your own unique cake at the end of the day.
Cake decorating started as early as the 1800s when a French baker decided to decorate a plain cake to make it more valuable. With the right ingredients and embellishments, there's no limit to creating a cake for any theme. From minions and Barbies to cars and photography, cake decorating allows you to recreate a magical fantasy. When you really get into it, cake decorating can evolve from a craft into an art form.
The hobby side starts when you play and you put something nice together. The business starts when somebody say, "It's beautiful, can I order?" And you said yes, and you start taking orders. And the moment when you realize you've got about 5 cakes for that 1 week, this is not play anymore, this is now business. And it's like a rude awakening.
The secret to any delicious cake is in the baking. The process of making a scrumptious cake can take anything up to 6 to 8 hours, but the memory of making a great tasting cake lives on forever.
The process of making a cake is to find the best recipe. Not every recipe works for a fondant cake. So if you have found the right recipe, bake the cake, let it cool down. It normally takes about an hour or 2. Make sure that it's very cold inside or the cake can go sour. In the meantime, during that process, you will start to mix all your fillings. Cutting your cakes then at the right size. Make sure that the cake is perfectly the right angle or the right height, flat. Put your fillings inside and then put your ganache all around the cake, top, sides. Make sure that it's very straight because you don't want a skew cake. From there, you will cover with your fondant. Put your Delft sticks inside. This is now if you want to do a multiple layer cake, like a 3-layer wedding cake. And then you will start to decorate it. Now the decorating can be anything, but normally you will finish off all the edges of your cake and then do what the customer wants, either with flower, piping, embossing.
Like any other craft, cake baking and decorating also comes with its fair share of challenges. Using the right ingredients and following the correct methods is important to ensure success.
When I start with a cake, the challenge for me is to make sure that I can deliver the cake safely. You never know what's going to happen on the road. So the whole structure of the cake needs to be very secure. Normally you deliver your cake like an hour before the wedding or 2 hours before the wedding. There's no time for fixing or to do anything if there's something going wrong. So you need to be very precise in your planning, how you put this whole project together, and Second of all is to make it still delicious.
Cake making is a fun craft that the whole family can get involved in. It's a skill that can be passed on through the generations.
My advice to the passionate cake decorators out there that wants to move from a small cake business to something bigger is to source somebody that can help you with the right information first. Somebody that's selling the right tools that will last you a lifetime, because this tools is very expensive. It's not a cheap hobby at the end of the day. And then also somebody that can stock bulk ingredients for your baking.
With National Cake Day now an annual event, you can also show off your great tasting creations. And if you're really passionate about it, there's nothing to stop you from turning it into a business.